Our inspiration for beach cleaning has come from one man called Afroz Shah. Now, if you rewind back to 2015, when Afroz Shah first stepped out onto Versova Beach, he saw the entire beach laden with plastic and other garbage and waste. Given that waste management in our country is sorely lacking, he realized that he had to take it upon himself to really make a difference, and he started off by picking up one piece of garbage at a time. To answer your question very simply, yes, it has a tremendous impact, because one man who got a movement going was able to clear 60 million pounds of garbage. Now, 60 million pounds of garbage translates into roughly about 27,000 tons of garbage. It may seem like a Herculean task, but it was done very successfully. And today, when you go to that same beach, that beach is much cleaner than when Afroz Shah first walked onto the beach. And it's even given rise to the return of the olive ridley turtles. It means that he's done something right. It means that the environment is grateful and thankful to him. And nature has appreciated his work by actually getting the olive ridley turtles back onto that beach. Now, today, Afroz Shah turns around and says, a beach cleanup is not about clean beaches. Now, what does he mean by that? What he means by that is it's now become more of a symbolic effort. When you go to the beach, you see a much cleaner beach than when he got onto it. But still, you will find garbage collected in different places, and you will have an opportunity to really clean up. But it's more symbolic, and what I mean by that is people will see you doing it, and they will try and make certain lifestyle changes in their homes, in their societies, in their areas, in their cities, and hopefully in their country. We at Polymerupdate, when we set out for the first time, encouraged by Afroz Shah's work, and we got to that Versova beach, yes, we were happy to clean up a fair amount of garbage, but our posts on social media got some fantastic responses. And that is what our beach cleanup was all about, because we took that message to people who didn't think that we would ever get down to the ground level and do it, but we did it. And these people now said, we would like to make a difference. We would like to accompany you on your future beach cleanups. And hopefully that starts a chain like Afroz Shah did. Afroz Shah's effort started with one person, then his neighbor joined in, then 200,000 people joined in, and now I believe the movement has got more than 500,000 people. And it's spread to other cities as well. He's not only cleaning up the city of Bombay, not only the Versova beach, the Mahim beach, the Girgam Chopari beach, the Mithi River, but even the Ganges, even in other cities in Bombay. So yes, it's a movement. It does definitely have an impact, and the impact over time will only grow, and more people will come forward to support it. So I am 100% in support of cleaning beaches and believe it has a tremendous impact. What Polymerupdate realized when it started looking into the work being done by Afroz Shah is that the government has already put forward a very strong mandate under the Swachh Bharat campaign Abhiyan. I think the BMC as well is supporting efforts of individuals coming forward, because the message they are putting out is again a strong message saying that it is impossible for the few workers that the BMC has to clear up 11,000 tons of trash a day. Mumbai actually generates 11,000 tons of trash a day. Delhi does about 8,500 or 9,000 tons of trash a day. So just getting the BMC to go out and get their people to clean it is impossible. I think citizens have to do two things. One is change their habits of how to dispose of their waste, change the habits of how they should use the products that they buy, and then to start reusing it and finally recycle it. Only then, after it cannot be recycled, do they actually put it into a trash. But even then, they have to learn how to segregate their wet from their dry and become responsible citizens. So the government is doing their bit. Can the government do more? Most certainly the government can do more. If we are aspiring to become a $5 trillion economy, if we consider ourselves one of the world's greatest emerging markets, I think the government has to realize that an emerging market is not only where the GDP of the country improves and we can be considered as a world leader on the economic front. I think every aspect of the country has to be considered, including things like cleanliness and citizen drives and the responsibility of citizens and citizens' awareness. So I think the BMC and the government can do more. I think the government particularly can do more in terms of education. I think it's important to take a message out to the grassroots education level at schools and colleges and universities and let the people realize there that rather than simply banning products, you actually have to start embracing the product, realize its properties as being remarkable. Like in the case of plastics, since everything we are using, or many things we are using, are made from plastics, you cannot demonize plastics, because you will be using a ball pen, you will be using your laptop, you will be using your mobile phone, you will be putting on your reading glasses, you will be watching your television, you will be sitting in a vehicle which you wanted to be more fuel efficient, and by becoming more fuel efficient, you wanted to obviously get the metal parts replaced by plastic parts to make it lighter. So you also have to understand that when the government bans single-use plastics, yes, I agree, single-use plastics needs to be banned, but what will you replace a plastic straw with? A paper straw? Well, a paper straw is made from wood. It means deforestation. Are you going to be replacing it with a metal straw? A metal straw will have to be carried everywhere, and then the cleanliness aspect comes up. Once you use it, what are you going to do with it? Go and wash it. Is it practical? This also brings an analogy to my mind, which I was thinking about only recently. And I'm not digressing, it's important because this is what the government has to realize and the BMC has to realize, that if today I found myself in a boat, because a boat, let's say a ship capsized, and I was in a boat, and if I was desperately looking for water to drink, and luckily it started raining. I mean, these are all hypothetical situations, but it's important to realize. And suddenly I looked over and I realized that there was a floating paper cup in the water, and there was a floating plastic cup in the water. And if there was a glass, okay, the glass, if it's filled with water, will sink to the bottom, but let's say the glass was floating, okay? And if I had a choice to take one of those three to collect the rainwater, I wouldn't take the glass one because I know that it could fall and break. I wouldn't take the paper cup because it couldn't take the water. Sooner or later it would get wet and wither away. But the plastic cup really is the best option. So my message is that do not demonize plastic because we depend on it more than what people otherwise imagine. We just have to accept it as a product which lasts for thousands of years. So in that case, what do we do with it? We redesign, we reuse, we recycle, and that's where the government has to embrace and the BMC has to embrace. This is what moving from a linear to a circular economy is all about. This is what it's about. So if people are not familiar with what a circular economy is, go out and educate them. The BMC can, if they have started awarding tax benefits to societies and the government has started awarding tax benefits to societies who are doing composting, then let those societies also get the benefit of actually realizing the importance of moving from a linear to a circular economy. So all of these factors, the private citizen and government can get together, start addressing it, put certain systems in place, put processes in place, get companies like Polymerupdate which understand it. As part of our CSR have started adopting to these different opportunities which are coming our way. I think it is important for everyone to step forward and become responsible citizens. A responsible citizen eventually makes for a better India. And I think the government would be only too happy to have a better India because it serves their purpose as well. And it also helps the municipalities in various states in our country. So the Swachh Bharat campaign is something that Polymerupdate supports, believes in, but I think it needs better implementation, and we as citizens are happy to help the government implement it better. Thank you.